ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्ति वै नैष्टिकी। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हम्म Okay, reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 9, Chapter 10, Verse 4. Gurvartyatyaktarajyo vyacharaddhanuvanam. Oh, these all prose, okay. Gurvarte त्यक्तराज्यो व्यचरद् अनुवनं पद्मपद्भ्यां प्रियायाः पाणिस्पर्शाक्षमाभ्यां वृजितपथरुजो यो हरीन्द्रानुजाभ्यां चूर्पणख्याः प्रियविरह रुषारोपित भ्रूविजृम्भा त्रस्ताब्धिर्बद्धसेतु खलधवदहनः कोसलेन्द्रोवतान्नः. No, it's actually not even prose. I don't know what chandas is it. Translation. To keep the promise of his father intact, Lord Ramachandra immediately gave up the position of king and, accompanied by his wife, Mother Sita, wandered from one forest to another on his lotus feet, which were so delicate that they were unable to bear even the touch of Sita's palms. The Lord was also accompanied by Hanuman, king of monkeys, and by his own younger brother, Lord Lakshmana, both of whom gave him relief from the fatigue of wandering in the forest. Having cut off the nose and ears of Shurpanakha, thus disfiguring her, the Lord was separated from Mother Sita. He therefore became angry, moving his eyebrows and thus frightening the ocean, who then allowed the Lord to construct a bridge to cross the ocean. Subsequently, the Lord entered the kingdom of Ravana to kill him like a fire devouring a forest. May that Supreme Lord Ramachandra give us all protection. Okay, we can pray for protection. What kind of protection? Protection from being sucked into material life, protection from Maya, protection from anything which will become an obstacle in our devotion. We can pray to Lord Ramachandra. So again, here, of course, there's no purport, but just one thing, that the lotus feet of Lord Ramachandra were so delicate, and that they were unable to bear even the touch of Sita's palms, who was herself so delicate. So we can understand Supreme Lord's special features of the Supreme Lord, which cannot be there in any ordinary soul. And still foolish persons say that Rama and Krishna are human beings. They are Kusumadapi Komal and Vajradapi Kator. They are softer than lotus, but also harder than thunderbolt. We can't imagine how a person whose feet is so soft can be like cause of killing, big demons, etc. Right? But that's the inconceivable potency of the Supreme Lord. Which is why Krishna says, Bhaktya Mama Vijanati. Your devotee can understand the Lord. Otherwise, atheists will say, how is this possible? This is all nonsense. It's all your imagination. And devotees with a great appreciation, they hear such descriptions, right, of where Lord's Lotus feet are so soft. And then at the same time, he kills Ravana, big demon. May that Supreme Lord Ramachandra give us all protection. Jai. Vishwamitra. Now, so that was the summary actually. This previous was the summary of Ramayana. Now we'll go into each and every, like not each and every, but most of the important pastimes are described. विश्वामित्राध्वरे येन मारीचाद्या निशाचराः पश्यतो लक्ष्मणस्यैव हता नैरृत पुङ्गवाः. In the arena of the sacrifice performed by Vishwamitra, Lord Ramachandra, the king of Ayodhya, killed many demons, Rakshasas, and uncivilized men who wandered at night in the mode of darkness. So, people who wander in the night are called Nishachara. Hmm. So, devotees should not sleep at Nishachara time. May Lord Ramachandra, who killed these demons in the presence of Lakshmana, be kind enough to give us protection. So, again, we are all being bathed by the protective blessings of Lord Ramachandra. So much of protection, which is so nice. In this miserable material world, we can't just survive. There's so many demons around us all the time. Mm, Office boss, demon. Of course, you can say that he's doing his job, but in our life, he's a demon. Uh, it's our unfortunate situation that we have to take salary from such people. So anyway, Prabhupada's plan was Varnashram. So we'll see when it will manifest for us. Hmm. Anyway, so this was actually, so in Valmiki Ramayana, there's very nice description of this episode when Vishwamitra comes to Dasharatha and talks about all these his yagnas and all the disturbances being created, etc. And Dasharatha did not even expect that Vishwamitra would say anything like, he says, okay, yes, you're the king. So Vishwamitra says, you're the king, so you have to help me. Dasharatha says, yeah, whatever you want. And then Vishwamitra says, you send me your two sons. And then Dasharatha is heartbroken. He just collapses. Actually, at that time, Lord Ramachandra was still, he had not even completed his art, his studies, as in he was still in Gurukul. He was still learning from his guru, archery and all this warfare, etc. So Dasharatha tells him, saying, Vishwamitra saying, see, he's so small. He's like maybe 15, 16 years at that time, or just around that. So no, he's so small, he's still not even learnt the Dhanurveda, the, art of military warfare properly. No, how can I send? Then he says, no, you tell me anything else. I can give you so many Akshoinis, I'll myself come, etc., etc. Vishwamitra is adamant. Vishwamitra says, see, you've given your word. You better follow it. Now, this is very dangerous. This is Dharma Sankata. So Dasharatha did not want to give part from his son, but at the same time, he had given a word, and it is his dharma to actually protect and, as a Kshatriya, taking care of Brahmanas and fulfilling their requirements is his dharma. So he got into Dharma Sankata. Now, in modern life, there is no concept of Dharma Sankata because people don't know Dharma at all. So it's easy. No Sankata. Only material Sankata now because we don't follow Dharma. So Dharma Sankata, and then Vashishta is Guru, Dasharatha's Guru. So he intervenes and he says, King, what is this? What are you doing? It's a disgrace. It will become a disgrace to your whole dynasty if you behave like this. You're a Kshatriya. And then he reveals the supreme position of Rama. He says, nobody can touch him, don't worry. Actually, Vishwamitra himself was a king before. Vishwamitra was a Kshatriya. Then he becomes a Brahmana. Again, because of some enmity with Vashishta. So then Vashishta and then Kamadhenu and all that. So it's like some very interesting things happen in Ramayana. So those who are not read, you please read. His Holiness Bhakti Vikas Maharaj Ramayana. It's very, very nice. Um, so then he does some lot of austerities to become a Brahmarshi. Brahmarshi is like top. Rajarshi is a Raja who lives like a Rishi. Then above that is Brahmarshi like that. So then he becomes a great Rishi. So now he's given up all violence. So actually, Vasishtha tells Dasharatha saying that he himself can kill them. He doesn't need Rama's help. But it is for glorifying Rama, and then there is something else which has to get accomplished along with that. So you send, don't worry. Nothing is going to happen to your sons. Then, of course, see, Dasharatha was in Dharma Sankata, but his Guru intervened. Guru told him saying that do this. He said, okay, fine. Hmm. I see the same behavior in many devotees here, and though they treat me in that position, though I'm not qualified, but they are ready to simply close their eyes and accept, okay, whatever you say. So that puts so much of responsibility on me to make sure that, I don't give them wrong direction. But that level of surrender is what is going to take them back home, back to Godhead. Because whether I am qualified or not, their surrender will qualify them. And Prabhupada, Acharyas, Krishna, they're all seeing. And they understand, saying that, okay, they're treating him as genuine, and so they're surrendering, and that's exalted. I keep telling our devotee saying that I never got a chance to do this kind of surrender when I was in, early years of my Krishna consciousness. And these devotees are so amazing. It's just every time I see them, first I feel guilty saying that I'm not qualified. Second, I never did that when I was there number of years in Krishna consciousness. And then it just inspires me to surrender more to my Guru Maharaj. So very, very inspiring association. Hmm. So, so after all that, finally, Dasharatha allows. He says, okay, you take him. And then on the way, I'm just giving, I don't know, all the details are not here. So a little bit of Ramayana we are discussing. Yeah, so this is next is only the Swayambara. So I'll describe till there. So then, so then Rama and Lakshmana, they go with Vishwamitra. Now on the way, they reach one forest. And Rama says that just by looking at this forest, it's filling my heart with fear. As in, there's something fearful in this place. And then Vishwamitra then tells about Tataki. So the she demon who had become a man-eater. Um, so she and her son, Maricha, they became demons for some reason. So she was there and she didn't want to leave anybody, uh, entering that forest, etc. So then Rama very easily kills her. So the first demon he killed was also a lady, and first demon Krishna killed also was a lady. Uh, um, uh, anyway, so after that, then anyway, there's a lot of description. Then they go to one particular place, and then there's description about can't fully remember now. Mm, can't remember. And some very nice pastimes happen on the way, and then Vishwamitra takes him to his hermitage, where all this Homa, Yagna, and all were going. And what was happening is this Maricha and Subahu, they were always disturbing. And they were not allowing the sages to end their sacrifice. So they will do all the sacrifice. Then, when the last day, where they extract soma juice, so that is the conclusion of the yagna. And then at that time, they'll come and defile it, meaning they'll come and pour pus, mucus, stool, blood, etc., etc., and then the whole thing is spoiled. Now, um, though Vishwamitra could have stopped them, obviously there's a reason, because the whole of future of Ramayana is based on this one incident, as in this is a very critical incident. So then, obviously, like as expected, and then Maricha and Subahu, they appear on the scene, and then Rama and Lakshmana are alert, and then Subahu, Rama kills. He just with one arrow he's killed. But Maricha had work to do for Rama. So Rama knew that. So he fires an arrow, and along with that arrow, Maricha flies 100 yojanas into the ocean. He doesn't die because Rama did not want him to die because there was work that he had to do in the future. So Maricha remains alive. But then Subha is dead, and then they're able to complete the sacrifice, etc. And then all the sages are happy. And then the next verse here, where they go to for the Swayamvara of Sita Devi. यो लोकवीरसमितौ धनुरायिष्यमुग्रं सीता स्वयंवरगृहे त्रिशतोपनीतम् आदाय बालगजलीलैवेक्षुकयस्तिं यष्टिं सज्जीकृतं नृपविकृष्य बभाभवञ्जमध्ये जित्वानुरूपगुणशीलवयोऽङ्गरूपं रूपां सीताभिधां श्रियं उरस् अभिलब्धमानां मार्गे व्रजन् भृगुपतेर्व्यनयत् प्ररूढं दर्पं महीम् अकृत यस्त्रिरराजबीजाम्. O king, the pastimes of Lord Ramachandra were wonderful, like those of a baby elephant. In the assembly where Mother Sita was to choose her husband in the midst of the heroes of this world, he broke the bow belonging to Lord Shiva. This bow was so heavy that it was carried by 300 men. Just imagine one bow being carried by 300 men. And those men won't be like me. Like they'll be like warriors. Right? So now you can imagine how heavy that bow must have been. But Lord Ramachandra bent and strung it and broke it in the middle, just as a baby elephant breaks a stick of sugar cane. I mean, what a comparison, right? How difficult is it for a baby elephant to break, a stick of sugar cane? It's so easy. So Ramachandra, without any difficulty, he simply lifts that bow and just simply like a baby elephant, just breaks it in the middle. Thus the Lord achieved the hand of Mother Sita, who was equally as endowed with transcendental qualities of form, beauty, behavior, age, and nature. Now, this is very, very nice. So, Rama and Sita were made for each other. They're eternally made for each other, right? And their qualities actually complement. Um, Meaning Rama has also beauty, Sita has also beauty, but Rama's beauty and Sita's beauty add to the overall beauty. It's not that one's beauty takes away others' beauty, right? It's like, for example, in the material world, if somebody is beautiful, more beautiful person shadows the less beautiful person. But here it's like two beautiful persons, and both beauties of both these persons enhance the overall beauty of both of them. Mm. And this is also very important. It's not that it's only the beauty, it's not just the form, it's the behavior that makes a person beautiful. Sometimes, especially we know that non people with not coming from a Vedic background or Indian culture, etc., they might seem externally beautiful, meaning, to the eyes they might look beautiful, but they're not beautiful in their behavior. So there are two kinds of beauties. So today's analysis of beauty. One is angelic beauty, we can say, or divya. One is something which is non-asuric. So there is one asuric beauty and there is one non-asuric beauty. The asuric beauty, you will see, will only have external beauty but no internal beauty. Now, and then Shastra says, who will get attracted to them? Lusty men will get attracted to that external beauty, right? Those who don't have internal beauty. And then more cultured people will get attracted to the sattvic beauty. And the sattvic beauty is both external and internal. And this sattvic beauty doesn't arise lust in a man. And Sita's beauty consort, right? So she's like that, so we cannot imagine actually the beauty of Radha or Sita. Of course, the root is Radha. So that is why she is Madana Mohana Mohini. She even Krishna can't resist the beauty of Radha. And her beauty is not just skin deep, as they say. Yeah, material beauty is just skin deep, meaning inside there's no beauty. It's only beauty in the skin level of skin. But actual beauty is goes deep below the skin, which means in the way the person behaves, the qualities, the good qualities they have, etc. And that is real beauty. That is what is appreciated in Shastra. Of course, external beauty is there, but external beauty is more of, um, like I said, the internal beauty manifests also as external beauty. In the sense, somebody is so beautiful inside, very difficult if they're not beautiful outside, right? As in, generally, it's a result of punya, so they will also have external beauty. But more important thing is internal beauty. And actually, all of Ramayana, there's so much of very nice description about the amazing qualities of Sita Devi. Mm. Um, and it is a big lesson for chaste women. Mm. Actually, Ahalya tells Sita, saying that, like, your qualities are beyond compare. And she glorifies her because she says that general women of this material world, they are favorable to their husband when things are okay. When things are not okay, they become, they don't want to. For example, Sita Devi didn't have to follow Rama to the forest, right? Because the requirement was only for Rama to go. But Sita Devi said, I can't live without you. So then, Rachar also comment, it's also come, I think, in the future. But they comment, in thick and thin, a wife has to be there with the husband. And of course, husband has to be qualified. Then wife should follow husband, serve the husband. Mm. And I've been having conversations with some women who are working, and say that it's correct. These things are not. It is not meant for women. This working and dealing with all this pressure and stress. It's not designed for women. And unfortunately, in Kali Yuga, everybody, they don't want to do their own duty. Which will keep them happy. They will be happy by taking care of household things and children and elders and cooking and bhakti and all that. That's what keeps them actually happy. Now, those women who don't want this, and for some reason, of course, some have, some are obliged. They have situations because of which they have to work, though they don't like to work. And then there are many who want to work because they think that they want to waste their life sitting at home. But the problem is that they are never going to be happy. They're not going to find happiness. See, man is designed to find happiness in fight, in struggle, and all these kind of the heroic things. They are not there for women generally. But today's civilization, we want to copy everything, right? Oh, a man can wear pant, I'll also wear pant, right? So this civilization is not going to be happy. Women are not going to be happy. Somebody might say I'm feminist, but yeah, if that is called feminism, then if I'm can be called feminist because of that, I am, right? Because real feminism is to understand the role of women in a society, which unfortunately people don't seem to want to understand. They don't want to understand. And we should talk to those women who are going through these kind of life situations, and then they will vouch saying that absolutely yes, work and pressure and all is not for us. So, and then the focus can go towards more uh, finer aspects of life, right? Finer aspects, like for example, I keep saying that putting a rangoli, for example, such a big deal today, right? I mean, if I line up 50 Matajis, how many of them will be able to put proper rangoli? I mean, it's a basic thing. It's like ABCD. Before you can say you should know all this, right? It is part of our culture. And then there are some women, who do amazingly, right? And there are some men also who do in our center. There are men who put amazing rangoli, right? Which even possibly women can't compete. But these are the finer aspects of our culture has to be protected and grown. That has to be nurtured by women, and not that's not going to happen by men. So men have to play their role, women have to play their role, right? And Sita Devi is glorified. It's very nice actually. We should read all the various glorification of her qualities. Thus the Lord achieved the hand of Mother Sita, who was equally as endowed with all these qualities. Indeed, she was the goddess of fortune who constantly rests on the chest of the Lord, While returning from Sita's home after gaining her at the assembly of competitors, Lord Ramachandra met Parashurama. So this is another incident. Although Parashurama was very proud, having rid the earth of the royal order 21 times, he was defeated by the Lord, who appeared to be a Kshatriya of the royal order. Now, there's a difference between Ramachandra and Parashurama, right? What is the difference? Anybody can say? Meaning, in terms of their position, supreme position, there is a difference. Anybody? Parashurama is a Shaktyavesh avatar. Yeah. So he's not a Swayam Prakash, right? Like Swayam Prakash or Vaibhav Prakash means basically it's the Supreme Lord himself expanding. But Shaktavesha means it's a Jiva who has been endowed with some extraordinary power. So Parshurama was endowed with that power to kill the Kshatriyas. So he was just a Shaktavesha, but then he was very proud. He became very proud. He said, I've killed all these people. Then he comes and challenges Ramachandra. Ramachandra is coming back, after the marriage, and he stops him. Now he has the bow of Lord Vishnu. Parshurama has the bow of Lord Vishnu. And Ramachandra had just broken the bow of Lord Shiva. So then he challenges him, saying, okay, you broke the bow of Lord Shiva, but, can you break the bow of Lord Vishnu? Like that. So he challenges him in pride, arrogance, and then with one arrow, Lord Rama. So actually, Parashurama would have had accumulated a lot of punya because he had gone to that Mahendra Parvat and he had done some severe austerities and all that. He had gained qualification to go to Swarga. So much of punya he had done. And Lord Ramachandra, by just one arrow, he tells him, saying that, see, with this arrow, so when he's about to fire an arrow, then Parshurama then falls at his feet, saying that, oh, no, no, please, I forgive. I now recognize that you are the Supreme Lord and all that. And Rama says, see, I have to release the arrow. I can't put it back into my quiver. So it's going to take away your punya. It's not going to kill you, but it's going to take away your punya. So and then Parshurama says, okay, it's fine. You are the Supreme Lord. You can decide to do whatever you want. So like that, then again he goes back to continue to do his austerities, etc. So Supreme Lord is always supreme, right? Whoever comes from Supreme Lord they're all like, which is why they're all Amsha and Kala, and then there is Shaktavesha avatars, and there's so many different types of incarnations, Manvantara avatar, etc. Not everybody is of the same position. They're not of the same stature. Everybody has different roles, all given by the Supreme Lord, Krishna himself. And Ramadi Murtishu Kala Niyamena Tishtam. Niyamena means as per rules, meaning as ordained, Rama Adi Murtishu, all these various avatars, Kala Niyamena Tishtan, they appear at the right time based on the desire of Krishna. So Krishna is the supreme, and then Rama also, he pretty much looks as supreme as Krishna, but not. Right, and then of course, then there are all these other avatars, Shaktavesha, etc. And Parshurama, you all know, he killed all these Kshatriyas 21 times. And then Samanta Panchak got created near Kurukshetra, which is big lakes filled with blood of those Kshatriyas. And then he goes to do austerities to Mahendra Parvat to, because it was sinful. He was a Brahmana and he had killed people. So it was very sinful act on his part. So he then goes to do austerities. And then subsequently, in Krishna Lila, Krishna and all the Yadu Vamshis and all the Brajavasis, they all come to this area for the eclipse. They come to this area. So it is a pilgrimage place, Shamanta Panchak. Anyway, so many things are there. Satyapasha parivita piturnidesham strainasya chapi shirasa jagrahe sabaryah rajyam shriyam pranayina surudo nivasam tyaktva yauvanam asun iva mukta sankaha. Carrying out the order of his father, who was bound by a promise to his wife, Lord Ramachandra left behind his kingdom, opulence, friends, well-wishers, residents, and everything else, just as liberated soul gives up his life and went to the forest with Sita. No, obviously, I was just thinking, saying that I wanted to glorify Rama's leaving home, right? Because that is the best part of Ramayana. So every time on Ramanavami, I only end up describing this pastime because it's so much full of lessons and so amazing. Glorifies Lord Rama. So I'll describe that and then we will close. I will just read this purport. Maharaja Dasharatha had three wives. One of them, Kaikeyi, served him very pleasingly and he therefore wanted to give her a benediction. Kaikeyi, however, said that she would ask for the benediction when it was necessary. So this was actually a battle. So Kaikeyi becomes the charioteer of Dasharatha and Dasharatha is severely wounded. And he would have possibly died at that time. Kaikeyi, who was his charioteer, then takes him to uh, safety, etc. And then so he becomes very obliged to her, and then says that you can take boons from me, uh, two boons, right? So then she says, no, no, no. At that time, she was okay. She was very chaste wife of her husband. So she says, no, 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 I don't need it now. When time comes, I will take it. So I don't need any boon now. I'm happy being your wife like that. Hmm. So at the time of coronation of Prince Ramachandra, Kaikeyi requested her husband to enthrone her son Bharata and send Ramachandra to the forest. Dasharatha, being bound by his promise, ordered Ramachandra to go to the forest according to the dictation of his beloved. And the Lord, as an obedient son, accepted the order immediately. He left everything without hesitation. Just as a liberated soul or great yogi gives up his life without material attraction. Now, it's a very beautiful episode that happens. And this has so many things to learn for us. So there is, who is that? Mantara. So Mantara was a dasi. She was a hunchback. She was the dasi of Kaikeyi. Now, once what happens is like, so Dasharatha suddenly starts getting so many women that he's going to die and this, that, and all. So then he decides saying that no, 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 now it's time. I have to coronate my son and then I have to just retire from active, this ruling and all that. So then all preparations are made, etc., etc. So it's next day morning is the coronation ceremony. Then just that evening, or maybe earlier that day, Mantara, she goes to the roof of her palace. She's in Kaikeyi's palace and she goes to the roof. And from the roof, she sees that all of Ayodhya seems to be, like completely ornate and with lights and decorations and this and that and all that looked like a festival. So she didn't know what was going on. So then she asked one of Rama's nurse who was there, meaning who used to take care of her from when he was small. So she asks her, saying that what's going on? And then she says, you don't know? Oh, our dear Lord Rama is going to become the king tomorrow. And as soon as she hears this, Manthara goes crazy. She thinks, what's wrong with my, the queen? And so then she runs to meet Kaikeyi. And Kaikeyi is happy. She's sitting in her room, whatever, talking to her servants, etc. And then she's in a very happy mood. And Manthara comes and says, Kaikeyi, do you know what's going on? So then, Kaikeyi says, okay, what are you talking about? So then this Ayodhya is like, looks like there's some, I saw that it's like a festival. And Kaikeyi says, yes, it is festival. Because tomorrow is the coronation of my Rama. So she says, my Rama. So she loved Rama so much. Actually everybody loved Rama, right? Rama is that kind of a personality. Shastra says, Bhagavad Gita says, even a devotee is loved by others. And then what to say of the Supreme Lord? How can somebody be without loving except unless they are asuras, right? And such asuras they were not born in Ayodhya, right? So they all loved Rama, including Kaikeyi. They know nobody thought of themselves as stepwife or whatever. They thought of Rama as their own son. And so happily she tells, and she says, yes, because these words came out from your mouth, take this. And she gives a necklace of pearls. She already knew, but because it came from your mouth, take this. And Manthara goes crazy. She just throws that gift on the floor and then speaks to Kaikeyi saying that, have you gone mad? You have become a fool. You're not able to understand what the king is doing. The king simply says that you are his favorite, but actually he only likes Kausalya. So now, on the pretext of making Rama the king, Kausalya is going to be the queen mother, right? She's going to get that position, and then you will just become her dasi. And you become her dasi. What about my position? What will happen to me? This was basically her problem. Her problem was her own selfishness. Saying that if her queen becomes her mistress becomes dasi, she'll become dasi of dasi. So she will lose all position of importance, etc. Of course, Mantara was a apsara. She was sent to expedite this whole uh, Leela of Rama going to the forest, etc. Because the demigods wanted Rama to go to the forest, right? Because then he had to go to Lanka and then kill Ravana. So then they're instigating, they're pushing that it happens fast. So they had sent Mantara. So she was Apsara. So, but she was in this role. So then, she poisons Kaikeyi's mind. Person who had so much, she was so happy, stating about, she said, "My Rama, his coronation," and she was so happy. Within few minutes of conversation with Mantara, her mind got poisoned. Her mind got poisoned, and she just turned completely opposite. And then she becomes like she's now in a state because she was put into that kind of very weak situation by Mantara. So she loses her intelligence also, and then she asks Mantara only, saying that, what should I do now? How can I prevent this from happening? So, from being happy that Rama is going to get coronated, now she's come to the stage where he's saying, how can I prevent it? How can I prevent Rama from becoming king? Then she says, okay, so you do this. You have two varas, two benedictions from your husband. Ask for it. It's a time for that. With one, you ask Rama to go to the forest, and with the other, you ask for coronation of Bharata in his place. And then, of course, then she tells that to Dasharatha, and Dasharatha just becomes heartbroken. He abuses her left, right, and center, saying that you're a demon, you're a Rakshasi, you're killing your own family, you're killing your own husband. All this, but uh, I mean, she was well trained by Mantara, so she doesn't budge. She just sticks to her. Mantara would have said, whatever the king says, just don't agree. This is what we want. That's all. And she pakka followed. And then, finally, obviously, Dasharatha couldn't, he couldn't override his wife, because then Kaikeyi is saying, if you don't give me this, I'm going to drink poison and die. Now, then at one point, Dasharatha says, you do whatever you want, you die, you're anyway not worth living. But then, again, Dharma Sankata, because he had given a vow, he had given a promise, he had given a benediction. So, finally, he succumbs to it and he says, okay, do whatever you want. And then he just, he goes into depression majorly. In Ramayana, we can't read those pages actually. It's so much of pain, so much of pain, Dasharatha. Then Kaikeyi calls for Rama. Sumantra goes, minister of Dasharatha, he goes and calls Rama, and Rama is surprised, saying that what happened, this time of the night, tomorrow morning is the coronation, so I have to come early, so I'm resting. Why is father calling me at this point of time? So then he goes, and then he sees that, Dasharatha is not in his palace. Dasharatha is in Kaikeyi's palace, which is strange. Normally all of them, they have their palaces, and generally, unless there's some special reason, they rest in their own palaces at night. But today, for some reason, Dasharatha was not in his palace. He was in Kaikeyi's palace. And not even Kaikeyi's palace, Kaikeyi's Shoka Bhavana. Uh, I keep making jokes saying that previously queens had Bhavana for Shoka. If they're upset, they could go somewhere else and show their shoka. Now, house only shoka bhavana. Everything is here only. So much of shoka, no sukha, no happiness there, only shoka. So he was very surprised, saying that what happened? Why is my father here? And then when he goes, Dasharatha is not ready to show his face also to Rama. So he's just like lying on the bed and he's just covered his face like with his blanket. He doesn't want even Rama to see him. He's so ashamed of what is going to happen. And then Rama asks Kaikeyi, saying that what happened? What, father is not well or something? Blah blah blah. And then Kaikeyi just finally just tells, saying that Rama, your father is not wanting to tell you something. Unfortunately, I'll have to tell you on his behalf. And he says, saying that he's given me two boons. From the first boon, you have to go to the forest, and the second one, Bharata will become king. Now, Ramayana describes, saying that when he heard this, there was no change in expression on the face of Lord Rama. There's no change in expression, meaning he was not happy, he was not sad, he was not angry, he was not upset, nothing. But then after, some time, he tells Kaikeyi, saying that, Mother, I'm only hurt or disappointed with myself that I could not be a well qualified son of my father. That I'm feeling bad that he did not tell me this directly. If he had just told me to go to the forest, I would have just not even winked my eyes, I would have walked. But for some reason, he didn't tell me. He's telling it through you, which is making me feel very bad. Maybe I didn't do my responsibility as a son properly. So this was the only reaction that was there in Rama, and he was not bothered. He was not bothered about the kingdom and royal palace and comfort and this and that and all that. And from that moment, that's all. His only thing was, I have to follow the orders of my father. That's all. That was for everything and everything, that was his only answer. Pitru Vakya Paripalana. And then, of course, Sita doesn't want to remain behind. And Lakshmana also says, I won't stay here. Then Rama says, no, Bharata will come and he might have other, plans, etc. You please be here and protect our mothers and father, like that. Bharata says, no. Lakshmana says, no, I am not going to be here. If you're not here, I'm not here. And then all the three of them begin to go. And then at that time, Kaikeyi gets that clothes that they are supposed to wear in the forest. So they're supposed to take away their royal clothing. And she says, how can you take now? This is my wealth. How can you take all this to the forest? So she's like wicked. And then others, ministers who are there, they tell, what is wrong with you? I mean, let at least, and finally say, okay, don't at least let Sita Devi go. She's not used to wearing these clothes. Let her go with whatever she's wearing. So then, Sita Devi, actually, she gets those clothes. She doesn't even know how to wear it or what to do, etc. And then Rama, because Rama is trained, because he's in Gurukul, etc. Then so he break. So Sita Devi was obviously wearing a silk sari, etc. Then he puts those bark garments on her sari only, saying that this is how it is worn, right? But then they all say, no, don't do this. And then somehow I think Sita goes with her royal clothes only, but Rama and Lakshmana, they take off all the royal clothes, wear those, give up their ornaments, etc. So it's a very painful thing. It's one of the most two painful things in Ramayana. One is Rama's exile, and the other one is Sita Devi's coming back, and then Rama rejects her. These two are very difficult to digest pastimes in Ramayana. Anyway, so we'll discuss more tomorrow. So we'll stop here. If anybody has any comments, I don't think there should be any questions. But if you have any comments you want to share, you can feel free.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yeah.
Anupriya Mataji gives Sita Mataji clothes which will never get dirty. And,
that is still later.
Later.
Yeah, that is still later.
Prabhu, I don't know. In the material world, the first thing is what attracts a person is the external beauty.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Prabhu, Srila Prabhupada, if you look at him, he was not a very handsome person,
absolutely.
or a very husky voice, or like a grown voice. You want to give him turns and look around. But
Yeah,
what
yeah,
attracted
yeah,
thousands and lakhs and lakhs of people
yeah,
was
absolutely.
because the spark within him was this.
Yeah, and every all of his
And yes,
disciples, all of his
all the
disciples, every
formulas, all good enough. When my Guru Maharaj had come into the this thing, so I mean, Guru, with all
yeah,
due respect,
yeah,
the
yeah.
Prabhu, he
I'll
told
say,
Prabhupada, he says he's so handsome, and then
yeah,
all the Matachis. So
are
Prabhupada
behind
told
him.
him, he said,
Mm.
eat and become
Fat,
obese.
yeah, become
That's
fat, become overly fat, so that they won't
only
get
why the
attracted to you.
people won't get attracted. And having this, and Prabhu, but like the halo he had, the glow he had,
Yeah, yeah,
nobody can replace it.
yeah,
I, and now recently, Prabhu, like I mean, I should not be talking. When Anadi Prabhu left the body, and
mm,
we were trying,
mm,
like Mataji settles again. She's young. She's
mm, mm,
beautiful.
mm,
you know, she said, Mataji, like we used to very openly talk. Even with
mm,
Anadi, I used to quite many a times have this discussion about body shaming. Like
mm,
I have a daughter who's slightly dark, and she went so very openly, on a very like even I'm the only one dark at home in Ashok's family, so my kids are dark, and we've gone through all that. So I
mm,
used to very openly talk to him. I said,
mm,
Prabhu kaise?
mm,
When we were trying to settle, she said, Mataji, it's not about the looks or anything, but if you actually knew Anadi,
yeah,
like
yeah,
nobody can step into his shoes.
yeah,
So
absolutely.
Prabhu, like when you were talking about beauty, of course Sita ji and Ram ji, they are, I mean, unka beauty ka to kya comparison hona hai? They're the Lord, they're the Supreme Lord. Sita Mata ji is the Supreme. I mean, Krishna and they are Krishna, they're Radha Rani, unki beauty, like, but that Prabhu, like, but of course, it takes a lot of other, when you live with a person, you come to know about a person. But the first thing which attracts you in any matrimonial, this thing, or in a love, this thing is
Yeah,
the beauty. Is
yeah,
the
yeah,
beauty.
yeah, yeah.
Sorry,
But
just gets like usually get carried away with your
no,
lecture.
no, but yeah, but that's the whole point, right? The internal beauty is what actually touches deeply, more deeply than external beauty will fade. But that internal beauty, and I mean and Prabhupada also, what you mentioned, many of his disciples, or possibly all his disciples, would vouch saying that, there's something special. They don't know, they can't point their finger at what it is. And they used to say there's something special about Swamiji. Right? We just can't leave him and go. As in, it's just so magnetic. Of course, great devotees are also like that. They have that because Krishna is residing in their heart. They actually attract thousands of people. Anyway, so it's very nice. That internal beauty is something which is what we need to develop. It doesn't matter whether externally we are beautiful or handsome or whatever. It doesn't matter, right? What we need to develop is that internal beauty, and internal beauty touches with just one interaction. That internal beauty touches a person in such a way that they would not want to go away. They'll feel to come back again and again, and that's real spiritual progress, because that internal beauty is the beauty of the soul, right? When all the material qualities are washed away, then the original beauty of the soul manifests, which is pure. That purity is what attracts people. Anyway, it's a nice point. Thank you. Okay, anything else? Yeah, Shanshankru. Shakti Avatar. Which means Jiva gets some qualities of. No, Jiva gets empowered to do a particular task. Like Vyasadeva is also Shaktyavesha. Prithu Maharaj, Narada Muni is also Bhakti Shaktyavesha. Because he was given the power of bhakti. So each of them have been endowed with certain powers, right? Based on what they are supposed to do, they become so much powerful. But they only become so much powerful. They can't become as powerful as the Lord because selective powers have been given to them. But they'll be extraordinary. They'll be like the supreme lord in that particular area. Like they'll excel. They'll be topmost, right? In that particular, like Narada Bhakti, he's the best. He's the topmost, right? Like that. So the supreme lord empowers them fully in that particular aspect with no parallel. Yeah, but only specific qualities will be given. That's why they're Shakti Avesh. Okay, anything else? ओके, श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, जगत गुरु शिला प्रभुपाद की जय, समेत गौर भक्तवृंद की जय, वांछा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिंधुभ्यः च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव की जय, समेत गौर भक्तवृंद की जय। हरे कृष्णा।
Hare Krishna.
हरे
Pranams to everybody.